Hi friends and companions along this path of spiritual practice. One way that I can try to describe this spiritual practice of meditation is that it's a path where we gather our wandering mind and it becomes focused mind. And as our mind is settled and focused, it's only a matter of time where the focused mind realizes the afflicted mind. We learn to face all the things that are restless, that are agitating, that are filled with turmoil in our afflicted mind. And as we begin to work with that, we begin to recognize this mindful mind through which we look at ourselves and the world differently. And as we practice with mindful mind, we approach what Buddhism would call our wise mind. That movement from wandering mind to focused mind is something that is very doable. In fact, you and I, most of us, we know how to keep our attention focused on those things that require our attention and focus. But as we move from wandering mind to focused mind to facing afflicted mind, the afflicted mind is different. And there's a whole new set of challenges that surface as we practice with afflicted mind. No matter what we try to do with the afflictions of our mind, they often don't seem to work. Distractions, ignoring them, trying to go back to our familiar sense of the world, looking for our friends to give us the self-justification. All of those things seem to work only temporarily. But we call it the afflicted mind for a reason, because those afflictions linger no matter what we try to do about it. I remember many, many years ago, a student who was brave enough to put their innocent and honest question out there for the rest of us. The question was, if I want to move this teacup from over here to over there, I just reach out and move it. Why can't I understand how to move from a state of inner turmoil and conflict to a state of no turmoil and no conflict? Why is it that no matter what I try to do, I can't seem to move there? So teacher, can you tell us what I could be doing to accomplish that? It was a wonderful question, because moving a teacup from here to there and moving from a state of conflict and turmoil in the afflicted mind to a place of calm and peace is quite different. It's not difficult for us to understand the state of doing something from the state of not doing something. But what is this thing called allowing? When we allow something to happen. You know, much of Western thought grounds the human being in the will, in our sense of agency. Many things that we do and don't do is an expression of our willpower. But what is it to allow? And because allowing doesn't fit so neatly into that form of willful action, many of us assume and misunderstand allowing as simply a form of passivity. But many spiritual traditions would say that activity and passivity are actually both forms of the will. That in order for us to step into actively doing something is a performance of our will. And to refrain from doing something in this passive mode also requires our will. spiritual traditions would say that allowing is not in the category of doing or not doing. Rather, allowing is a quality of being. I'm thinking about that because I can will myself to play nice soft music as I get ready for sleep. I can put myself into bed, but I can't will myself to sleep. I can will myself to play music, to paint. I can even will myself to make the room and the setting just right, but I can't will inspiration or creativity or humility or transformation. These are things that no amount of what I do or don't do can accomplish. I can't will allowing. Allowing seems to be the occurrence of something, but I'm not sure where to attribute that to me or to you or to the circumstance, to the moment. Spiritual traditions would say we cannot will allowing, but we can be present and we can participate in what is happening right here and now without interfering with it nor separating ourselves from it. We can allow our attention to be intimately involved with what is unfolding. And as we allow for that presence and participation, what we find and discover our way into is what's called understanding. Is called a spaciousness of a clarity with which we see and know what is happening. And what is born of such clarity and understanding? What is born is skillful action, intimate with the moment and the situation. A response that is in congruence with the integrity and the intrinsic needs of the situation by situation by situation. And so as we face the afflicted mind, it may not be a matter of what we do or don't do, but how we can practice allowing. And so, friends, we continue with our practice.